Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another Starcraft 2 broadcast. My name is Ahnaris, and today we're here watching game number 3 of DieStar, spawning as the Purple Terran in the top right position against his yellow, orange, green, whatever color Zerg. Spawning down here, his drones are apparently a little flustered there. I guess somebody threw a little piece of bacon on the ground. They're, bacon, 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 bacon. That's just, that's my drone impression. I worked long and hard on that, but anyways, yeah, this is game number 3 from the best of 3 match from the Z Cup series, so pretty good stuff there. We've seen game number 1 and 2 already. If you have not, make sure you go to my channel and check that out. They're actually pretty interesting matches there. And we are playing on the map xel'naga Caverns. This is one of my favorite in the ladder rotation. You can see pretty large main base area. I think I've given the rundown on this map so many times I don't even care to count, but just for the sake of how awesome the map actually is, I'd like to point out a couple key features. Number one, you got the Happy Face expansion right here. Always a good sign for a well thought out map. We've got a couple high yield expansions. We've also got some xel'naga watchtowers. You can see the little eyes of the map there. Very, very important to control those. You can see that there is actually 4 major pathways to and from each other's base, and these watchtowers are able to pretty much see the entire middle of the map, so you can keep an eye on what is going on, maybe what's coming your way, etc. So now we've got DieStar going with a pretty standard opener for Terran, getting that depot at 10, barracks at 12, gas at 13, sending out that scouting SCV, which is heading past that tower and opening up a large portion of the map. Going to be actually heading down the back entrance. Doesn't want to head directly down. Going to be heading this way, it looks like, where he should actually scout this expansion. Drone going to be heading out a little bit earlier than we've seen in the previous couple games. This has actually allowed him to come up here before that second depot's gone down and maybe do a little bit of maybe harassment. It looks like he's actually going to throw down a extractor. Ooh, going to be denying that gas for the Terran player. Now, so far in game number 1 and 2, we've seen that hasn't really affected it too much, because the Terran has usually opened up with the 1 gas, Hellion, and then just kind of expanding off into different strats as needed. But for here, we do have VortiX dropping down the hatchery first. So you see that the Terran player scouted that with his SCV as it was heading into the Zerg base, and is like, you know what, I know exactly what's going on here. There's no spawning pool yet. Opportunity has arisen right here, folks. So what we see is a bunker going down. Got a Marine headed down. Look at that. Going to be looking to do some serious damage. Will it actually reach that? I think it... I don't think it's actually going to reach that hatchery, though. 3 drones are going to be coming off. They should be able to, not actually be able to kill that SCV. The bunker should be able to complete, and now the Marine is going to have to pop out and try to do a little bit of damage. But with 1 Marine, not going to be able to do so much. So you got another one coming down here right now. And VortiX actually... You could see he's kind of maintaining his cool right now. He's still droning up. He's not trying to make a whole bunch of Zerglings and just rush the thing. He does have 1 Spine Crawler and a Queen now. So these are both good for absorbing damage. You don't want to be too ballsy with the Queen, though, because, they only have 175 hit points. But whether you're dealing with 2 Marines, they can be used to send the Queen in first and then the Zerglings. But with the Spine Crawler, it's going to kind of do the same thing. Now, the Spine Crawler will outrange the bunker. Almost called it the bacon there for a second. It will outrange the bunker. So we move it up just a little bit, place it down. Good stuff. Expansion is now secure, and VortiX is able to continue droning up if he wants to, which it looks like right now he's actually going to be capping some of that gas here, running with 2 drones on that extractor. Not too worried about the gas at this exact point in time. You see he's actually, oh wow, that was some super sexy extractor trick. He built 3 extractors, got 3 extra drones. He was supply blocked, and then built those 3 drones, canceled them all, put them back on minerals. So, really, when I saw those little yellow squares pop up on the minimap while I was explaining a minute ago, I was like, what the hell? He's not possibly going to be able to do anything with that gas. So, a little tip for newer players: when you take an expansion, don't build both of your geysers right off the bat unless you have some specific plan for that gas. You don't want it just sitting around. Now, speaking of plan, Terran is looking to do some serious harassment here. What he's probably not counting on is the second Spine Crawler, which is going to finish in just a second or 2. It's going to really limit the amount of harassment that DieStar is going to be able to do with these Hellions. He is definitely looking for blood, hoping to pull off Maybe a couple drones here and there, but you see this Queen didn't really take so much damage, keeping it nice and tucked away there. As the Terran is actually finished with his expansion, you see he has 3 barracks, 1 factory with a reactor, so he's really looking to put a lot into this early Hellion harassment, throwing down an additional Hellion right there. And here we go, with 7 total on the map. I think he's actually keeping 1 up here at his base, throwing down a bunker. Pretty good defensive structure there. And I like the placement of this Queen. Oh, I like it so much. This Queen is... she's positioned at the bottom of the ramp there to keep the Hellions from running up the top. So really, it's going to keep the Hellions right here at the base where the Zerg has the creep. Once he gets enough Zerglings, he'll be able to catch up with the Hellions. You see he's got a bunch of them tucked away nice and tight down here. So they're safe, they're sound, they're happy. I'm sure they're sleeping and reading a bedtime story, something like that. Aspire has just gone down, and at the exact same time, VortiX is going to have that extractor finished up right there. And look at this, Hellion is ready and going to start shooting this extractor, taking it down. You see that VortiX smart, not putting any drones on it, realizes those drones would die super quick, and keeping these Hellions off the creep. That's the most important thing here, because the Zerg player, you know, once he does have the speeding upgrade, and once he gets on that creep, he's going to be super quick. So the Hellions actually kind of stopping and attacking, several of them taking damage. Look at that, man. 2 kills on that one, 4 kills on another one. Might actually go down. Well, no, it's hard to say. No, it looks like they're going to live there. I thought that the Zerglings would be able to catch up there, but not quite. The Hellions were able to take down the remainder of the Zerglings. However, one of them has got 5 hit points, not really in battle condition, so probably going to take that back and repair it a little bit, or just keep it hanging around in base there. VortiX doing a pretty good job spreading the creep. You see he's got 1 Queen dedicated to doing exactly that. Got the Baneling Nest coming as well. So we are seeing a pretty standard anti-Terran play going with the Mutiling Baneling build. Very good idea, especially on this map, given the fact that it's one of the longest rush distances between the 2 players on pretty much any map currently in the ladder rotation. And on that note, I am so glad that they took out Desert Oasis. I hope that map dies in a fire. Cannot stand it. Just the look itself pisses me off, not to mention the balance issues. But now we have DieStar moving out now. With a pretty marine-heavy force, this will be great in dealing with Zerglings as they try to get the strand. Also notice the 2 SCVs that are repairing. You see they've actually got the rally command. Once they're done repairing, head back up to probably the mineral line here, and here comes the Stimpak upgrade. They don't have the combat shields. That is one thing the Terran player is going to have to keep in mind. The shields is on the way. We're not seeing any Banelings just yet. Marines will be great to deal with the mutas. However, there's just too many mutas here right now, man. That initial batch of mutas, oh, nice transfuse on that Queen right there. Not enough to save it, though. I think he actually transfused the muta. But you see, VortiX, when he pops out those mutas, he really likes to pop out that initial batch to get like 7 or 8 of them at a time. And now we're going to split up and take down those, both these medevacs. And I like the split there. He sent 2 of them to finish off the low hit point, and the rest of the mutas to finish off the one that had high hit points there. So, good game awareness displayed by VortiX. I gotta say, VortiX really I like his Zerg's play so far. I'll try to upload some of the games with him versus White Raw. I'll see if I can find them digging around my replay folder or whatnot. My replay folder is actually huge right now. It's got like 13 subfolders or something like that. And they're not all vegetables like you saw in that Drunken Cast. They're actually legitimate folders and all organized, all nice and proper. But for now, VortiX is going to be looking to do some serious damage. You see the Weapons 1 upgrade for the Flyers just about complete. Also, the Baneling speed upgrade, Centrifugal Hooks, will be done in just a moment. That'll allow them to become roly-poly Banelings, as we do see that DieStar has invested in a little bit of anti-air. Got those turrets, not surprising. Also, pretty marine heavy. Again, really good ways in dealing with this muta harassment. That combat shield upgrade, like I was talking about earlier, one thing that you need to be aware of if you're going to be attacking the Zerg player, who, you know, if you're playing as Terran, you got to make sure that they don't have that Baneling Nest when you run in there with that Stimpak and you don't have the combat shields. Reason being, when you've got a Marine without that combat shield, 45 hit points, alright? So, when you hit it with the Baneling, if the Marine has stemmed, it's going to be down to 35. Which means the Marine can be one shot by one Baneling. But if you have that combat shields upgrade, it means that Marine, even though it's stemmed once, it can still take 2 hits before it dies. So pretty important to keep that information in the back of your head when you're playing ZVT. One thing I like about this wall off here, most players will throw down 2 supply depots. DieStar throwing down 1 turret and depot. Again, pretty good stuff there. As we see Hellion coming over here, not doing a whole lot of damage. Came in here to maybe get some queen kills, or not queen kills, but drone kills. Not super effective, as that queen was Johnny on the spot. Debbie? Debbie on the spot. Had to think of an E name. Of course, we got those rocks destroyed now there as 1 Marine. Oh, you poor guy. Run for your life, sweet Billy. Oh, you'll make it to the tower? No, you won't. Okay, yeah, Eddie's there to take his place. Got all excited there for him, but nope. We've already forgotten his name. As a command center is going down. Probably Terran looking to expand maybe here as well. We see that the mutas are actually coming over here doing some damage. 1 turret against this many mutas. I mean, really, what are you gonna expect to happen? You got 13 mutas running around there. 1 turret's not gonna be that big of a deal. DieStar incorporating our Thor, and here we go, folks. We have Banelings, Zerglings, and mutas heading over to the Terran army. Siege tanks have established themselves as the Banelings run right into the Marines, annihilating this Terran army, man. Look at that. All the Banelings have been killed, but that's okay. That's what they are there for. And now the mutas are plenty enough in number to take off a couple of those medevacs. Got a few Marines and a Thor here. Got another siege tank as well. So plenty enough to hold his own, at least for the moment, against the remaining army. But VortiX did a great thing there, moving up and just annihilating the Terran army with his forces, giving him time to get this expansion completed and get some more drones over here. You can see he's got a bunch of Banelings and Zerglings on the way, as well as weapons level 2. That's going to make those glaive worms, I think, do 11 damage? Yeah, they'll do 11 damage when all is said and done. Of course, it reduces per attack, but that's another story. I'm not going to get too much involved with the actual numbers here. Well, speaking of numbers, let's actually look at the income. We can see that it's sitting at about even right now, 65 to 61, despite the fact that the Zerg has the high yield. The thing is, Zerg isn't mining off the high yield, so you can't really count it. It's just pretty much for production at this point in time. You can see that's where the main bunch of his units are, and we'll probably see that, have some drones transfer over to in the next few minutes. As we look at down here at the main base, it's starting to get mined out. You're sitting about a few hundred minerals per patch. You can expect to see, like I said, transfer there. And here we go, folks. Another attack coming at the high yield expansion. Zergling's getting a good surround. We see mutas just running right on through. Banelings just doing what Banelings do, man. I'll tell you what, that was a great attack there. Once again, this I don't think this expansion is going to last very long. Look at that amount of mutas, folks. Going to be heading over 1 turret down, 2 turrets down, 3 and 4. The count. Oh, that's not a turret. It's a sensor tower. Oh, it's almost the same thing. Throw a couple missiles in there and you'll be good to go. 1 tank going to be going down there, and sure enough, this expansion going to be dead. Just a moment. You know, DieStar is continuing to produce the Thors, which is going to be increasingly difficult here as the game progresses. You see his main is just about mined out. There's a large number of SCVs here. This is where a lot of his income was coming from a few minutes ago. And now it's pretty much relying on here, which is also more or less mined out as well. You see he's been really heavy on the mules. You can see which patches have had mules and which have not. These two are still going to hang around and run 800. And now Zerg has transferred, I think, a couple drones up from his main over here. You can see just a few of them sitting around. Also built a few a minute or two ago. Infestation pit going down. Some fungal growth will be nice, especially when you're dealing with late game Marines. Throw down the fungal growth on the Marines, and then send in the Banelings, folks. Maybe get some Zerglings in there as well to absorb some of that initial damage, and then it's just going to be over for those Marines. And now we have VortiX doing a little bit of harassment here in the Terran base, knocking out some of the production capabilities. You see he's going for the reactors. He really wants to limit that Marine production that the Terran player is going to have. And now the Terran's here, just going to get out. Again, that's that high mobility coming into play right there. Thor is like, hey, what's up? I'm a little bit late, but I don't know why I'm here because I'm way too late, so he's probably going to be running back. Looking at the unit composition now, we can see 30 Banelings, 60 Zerglings, 21 mutas, against 2 Thors, 3 tanks, and 33 Marines. And the actual unit size, look at that, folks. Zerg player is maxed out. Terran is at 128. Not a good position to be in right now. Terran is going to have to move out and try to defend this expansion, which I'm sure he's not happy about doing. He probably realizes, you know what, I know I am under when it comes to the army right now. given the fact that the Zerg player has all these expansions, but he's got to do something, as we see him actually coming up here right now, throwing down the Planetary Fortress. This will help out a lot if he's able to get that. Not sure if he's going to be able to, though, because the Zerg is right on top of that base, who's actually pulling out just a little bit there. Maybe he's going to hang out for another minute or two. I don't know what's going to happen. But these armies are very close to one another. You see, while this is going on, Zerg has taken all of the expansions except for the ones that are kind of in Terran's main area. And here we go, folks. All the SCVs transferred over, and the Zerglings are trying to get us right on the tanks. Oh, my God. Look at this, folks. The perfect fungal growth on those Marines, followed up by Banelings. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. You know what? We've actually got to watch that again. I am going to stop this for a second. We're going to watch that without the health bars. Maybe slow that down a little bit so you can see that. Give me just 1 second. All right, here we go. Slow motion coming in here, Zerglings, and there's the Marines right there. We can see that the Banelings are coming right up close to it. There's a perfect fungal growth landing on all those Marines, and curse splat. I just had to watch that again. I have a tear on my eye as to how awesome that attack was right there. You see the Zerg army just didn't stop. That's one of the signs of a successful Zerg army, is one where you see it going just as fast as it was approaching the army as it is while it's actually in the midst of the army. So, just plowed right on through. So, VortiX going to be taking this series. Good games from both players here as we see, my God, that's a lot of SCVs hanging out right there. Yeah, good stuff from both players. Definitely looking forward to more from VortiX and, of course, DieStar as well. You can catch some more of their games over at SK Gaming. I know I have a lot of videos of them up right now. And, all right, that's pretty much all I've got for the moment. I'm going to shut up and kerblam.